Well, welcome viewers. Here again are we going to talk to Barry Peatling as we review the game Chelsea versus Frankston YCW. And just before we start, we're going to talk about this headline: Peatling, Morgan Star and Rupp win. Now, hello Barry, how are you today?
How you going, Colin? How you going to punt us out there? Just another nice sort of cold day, but it is winter.
Yep. Nice observation.
Very fresh morning.
Just tell us about that headline you had there.
Well, glad you brought that up, Colin. That was back in the 60s, playing with Panyap. Last game of the season against Denville, kicked 7 goals. And I did finish up equal second in the Women's League goal kicking with 60 goals, which still stands as a record, Colin, that's extraordinary.
60 goals.
60 goals for a rover in the Women's League.
So you weren't full forward?
I was a rover.
You're not 6'3".
No, just a bit short of 6'3". But that last game I got kicked 7 goals. I got sports for another week too, as a matter of fact. So it was. I'm pretty proud of that record, Colin. 60 goals for, and running second in the Women's League goal kicking ladder.
Well, that's good. Well,
if you want to see more about that, check on the YouTube. I picked the women's side, so it'll be on that too.
So it's YouTube/Barry Peatling.
Yeah.
All one
Women's
word.
League time. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Now, enough about you. Let's get into this game.
What's going to fill these people in? What's going on here?
Chelsea versus Frankston YCW, and this is a home game for Chelsea on Saturday. What was the weather like?
Before the weather, Colin, a very good crowd, which I thought it would have been. The weather was perfect. The wind was favouring the Cats on Never Road again, but wasn't been probably 2 or 3 goals.
Okay. Were there any changes?
3 dramatic changes, Colin. Anthony Lewis didn't play. He told me last week he would have been right. The bone's still giving him a bit of trouble in his foot, but he thinks he might be right next week.
Yep.
Ryan Stewart, bad leg, bad knee, but he's not as bad as he thought he was. I was talking to him too. He could be right next week too. And of course, Jackson Powell had to go to a funeral, Colin.
Okay. That's sad.
They shouldn't never have funerals on weekends. You should put that when you die. No funeral on the weekend.
All right, well,
we'll
forgive him this time. We'll forgive him this time, yeah. Well, just tell us about the first quarter then, Barry.
The first quarter opened up very good for Chelsea. Chelsea was going hard at it, and Luke Stokely kicked a couple of early goals. And they got 3 goals before Frankston YCW scored, Colin. I thought, it's going to be the biggest turnout of all time. And next thing, they started a lot. Well,
I'll give you the scores. It was 3-3, Chelsea to 2-3 at the end of the quarter. So Chelsea in front by 1 goal.
Yeah, I was in front by a goal, but then in the second quarter, a fellow called Ashley Eames, number 7, he's about 6'14", he just took over the whole game and controlled it, and they kicked 8 goals something to Chelsea's. Did they score in the second quarter? Don't think they did, or 1 goal?
Yeah, they scored 2 goals.
2 goals, yeah.
But the end of the quarter, by half-time, Chelsea was 5 goals 4 to YCW, 11 goals 6, so they scored 9 goals in that quarter. So it says here.
Well, it's got 8.
You said 10, but it says 11 on the website.
Well, I think that right there wrong again, because I'm sure they kicked 8. They kicked, well, it goes a bit later, but they kicked 8 goals and 6 goals. But no, they just the Roberts brothers, I beg your pardon, number 34, he's a star, mate. On ball, and his brother Lewis Roberts, he kicked 2 or 3 goals early in the second quarter, and they just took over. But
good side. All right, let's get it to the third quarter. It says here that the Chelsea had kicked at 1 goal, 6 goals 8 to 19 goals 10.
Well, I got 18 right.
19 goals 10.
I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, they much the same in the third quarter. They just controlled the game. They got a lot of good players all over the ground this mob. They got one fellow number 67. He's not even in the book. He takes these big marks in the forward line. They got another 2 or 3 fellows like Lewis Roberts and number 16. The second ruckman, we could do with him.
Right.
I mean, when Ashley Eames went off the ball, number 16 came on and just took over. But they kicked another 8 goals, and the game was over. 3 quarters, or it was over half time, as a matter of fact, when they were playing.
So the final score: Chelsea 8 goals 9-57 to YCW 24 goals 20 164.
Well, I must mention earlier in the game, Harrison was doing well in the first half, and Jason Hodge, who played a very good game in the first half, he was sort of had him and Carmi sort of trying to hold the back line together, but they're trying their hardest, but their hardest wasn't good enough. Scotty McLeod playing very well for most of the day, and finished up with 3 goals. But there are a few fellas there. Look, Not they wasn't trying. They were trying, but the trying wasn't the best. Wasn't the best because they just wasn't good enough to compete with this side. They are a very, very talented side.
Well, give us the complete goal kicking list.
Well, Scotty McLeod kicked 3 goals. He battled hard all day, Scotty. He played a good game. Who else kicked the goal? Stokel kicked 2 goals in the first quarter.
And then Damon.
Luke Damon, he was hardly sighted.
He kicked a goal though.
Yeah, kicked 1 goal. I think
Lancaster
kicked 1, and Taylor Irish popped in with 1 too. Yeah. But it's the last quarter was like procession, like a training run.
Okay, well, give us your group of best players before you give your votes out. Who were your best players?
Well, they're not in order as usual, but McLeod, Hodge, Lang was in the best players. Nizer, Carmody, Harrison as usual. But I give my 3 votes.
Well, 1 vote.
One vote to Jason Hodge, 2 votes to Stephen Harrison, and 3 votes to Scotty McLeod.
Okay. Well, in the on the website,
special mention to Nizer. He played a good game on the back line again.
Okay. Well, in the website it mentioned Rory Gregg.
Rory Gregg. He battled hard, but he was up against 2 big giants. Colin. He was actually in the last quarter. He got a few good hit outs. It might have done his confidence a bit alright for next week because he did 2 or 3 knockouts against Mr. Ashley Eames, who was a big giant.
Yep. Well, let's get just tell me who you think the best player was for YCW.
Number 7, Tom, stood out. Ashley Eames.
Without a doubt. I'll tell you something.
Roberts.
I'll tell you something here, right? On the best players list in Mornington Peninsula and the PN Football League, does not get a mention. Doesn't get a mention.
This fella, he must be out.
Ashley Eames.
Must be out in the asylum. Is he somewhere? One of the nut houses, is he?
He doesn't get a mention.
You've got to be kidding. He
No.
controlled the game.
Not amongst the best players. They got
Roberts?
6. They got 6 here. They got Roberts brothers.
Yeah.
They got the 6 best players. Ashley Eames not mentioned.
I told you last week he wants to go and get himself checked out.
Because you reckon
in the brain
I
department.
mean, you were
His
there.
eyes department.
Were you there? Well,
I was there. Actually, photos there to show you. I was there.
To prove it, and you saw it, and everything.
Actually, he's not even the best players.
Not even the best players.
Living Harry, I mean, what is the world coming to?
I don't know. It's hard to know. So, how good was YCW? How good were they?
Well, I don't know what you got to do to. The only thing that can happen. The only way to beat this mob is Ashley Eames gets hit by a tram, and the Roberts brothers fall over and break a leg each, and they're just too good. I've never seen a side with so much all-round ability all over the ground.
They're going to be a
They got fellas in the forward line, just popped up, taking marks over our fellas, and
they're going to be a problem in the finals.
well, I was just thinking the only side that I think would give them a bit of a fright is Coringle with Brendan Lade in, but I see they got beaten by Seaford on Saturday.
Unbelievable.
I don't think Lade could have been playing.
Anyway, let's get back to the game. Chelsea, are they terrible? Are they off? Are they no good?
Now, look, we've got to give Chelsea a bit of credit. They did try very hard. It just wasn't in the same sort of... well, just too good, too strong, and too big, and too quick, and words fail me for what... I mean, I don't know who's going to try and get over them.
Do they finish for the year, Chelsea?
No way, no. Well, Mornington, they're playing Mornington this
Have they got heart? They got any heart?
Look, talk about heart. That little Langus, he come off in the last quarter, he was right in front of me, and he could hardly breathe. I said, "You all right, mate?" He said, "Oh, I don't know." Anyway, gets up and he goes back. He's a little terror. He's got more courage.
Well, we're going to mention that in the highlights.
Well, I'll mention it again because he was very. That should have inspired the rest of the team, Colin.
But it didn't. So are there any other highlights in an abysmal game?
No, not for Chelsea anyway. But the highlights are all the other side because they were just too classy and. I don't know, it's just frightening. I mean, the closest anyone's got to them this year is about 9 goals, I think. 53 points. And they beat Seaford last week by 20 goals. And now they've beaten the second top side, Chelsea. I think we're rated pretty high. And they've beaten us by 100 points.
Oh, well, there's always next week. What is next week? What's happening next week?
Mornington, they're... Well, Mornington got thrashed again. They got beaten.
You popping down to Mornington?
Going for a drive down there.
Yeah.
Nice weather down there.
Jump on the highway. Down you go.
I might get my helicopter out and get that fly down there quick, smart.
So people can they can bank on you reporting that game.
Oh, yeah, we should have a good sort of.
They're bottom of the ladder, aren't they? So should they smack Mornington?
If they don't beat them by 15 goals, there's something wrong.
That's a big prediction.
Well, everyone's beaten them by. They got beaten by who? We beat them on Saturday by 15 goals. They scored last week. They kicked 5 goals. This week they kicked 5 goals.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, next week, Mornington at the Mornington Ground, you will be there live. Just a quick mention: you've got some cartoons on the website.
Yeah, and your great what do you call it? Work as a director. It looks pretty clever. I just had a look at it before, as a matter of fact. That looks the second one. This is the second cartoon from Colin Sutcliffe and Productions. It's quite clever.
All right. So we look forward to many of those. Well, thank you, Barry. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully we're going to have a report on a better result next week. Come on. Bye-bye.